Good morning, sunshines. It's been a moment since I've done a video, but yes, here we are back at it, and it is the Monday after our first MGE in which a new hero has been released, which is the Queen Elizabeth hero, along with Belisarius right before her too, during that week of the MGE. I have now set up my build for them already. Actually, it's not in here yet. Sorry, I should get out of that, but I can show you the share screen here so you can see what's going on with this build. This is what I've decided. Now, the basic gimmick of this build is the more damage you do, the more healing you get, and it is anti-heal. You're not allowed to heal yourself in the conventional sense, so no healing gems, no actual healing moves, which is just perfect because of Queen Elizabeth's special gimmick moves here. It's like assimilate, and it means the more damage you do, you get a percentage back to your troops, basically. So it's basically healing, all right, which is so good. That's like the most ideal format for recovery in this game, because this game dealing damage is by far way more valuable than trying to resist the damage with heals and endurance. It's just so much better to just go straight for dealing damage. Since this is all damage dealing, you are getting your healings from more damage, which means it's not the same problem as just going straight all damage with any other march, because that means you would be able to do some damage, you'd be able to do some amazing stuff, but you'd still lose your troops quite a lot. In this case, that's no longer the problem, not with this march. So we're going to test this out, and we're going to compare it to my previous best pike march, which were the martial pikes. And in order to test this, I'm going to use the NPCs from the center. Where the hell is it? Here it is. So I'm going to use these guys. I'm at the very top of the chain here, challenge, and we're going to re-challenge these guys using only my pikes, all right, as is. So let's try this. First thing though, I think we'll use the previous march first, and in order to make it as clean cut as possible, I'm going to use only the rings. I'm not going to use the armor, because the armor has better gems or worse gems on some of them, alright? So it's just going to be a little bit disproportionate. So we're going to take off all the armor. I already am pretty heavily statted, so it should be good on this anyway. So take all the armor off here. Oops. Queen Elizabeth 2. We will keep the rings on because they do have different sets of rings. That's important. And the rings are kind of partially what make the march, and they're all very, very similar in level, so best sort of, well, marches as they can be, as they are, right? Let's get rid of these. All armor off. So this should be pretty easy, and I think I'll do the marshals first, folks. Just going to do the marshals first, which means the marshals didn't even use these two purple rings. The marshals actually used this ring right here, along with something else. Let's have a look. So the marshals, as you would expect, are these three plunkers right here. And what were his rings? I don't even remember what his rings were. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the Sacred Sage, which is only level 10, but it is a gold ring, so that makes up for some of the level 30 on the purple. We had that one. We also had the same Tearstone ring here. That was down here because it's not on anybody yet, and it doesn't really matter who we put these on, I think. And then we also had a defensive ring, which was yeah, it was actually this Ring of Falcon. All right, we'll quit that for now. All right, so this is the best martial march I had, sans armor, okay, no armor. And I actually will have to do up his skills as well. You can already see as I'm leveling up Ramcam's skills here that it does feel like a waste of a slot in comparison to the new march I'm running, the Tacticians, because this guy is pretty much all defense and healing. It just seems like such a waste of a hero now in comparison. So now they're all done, all their skills are nice and red, and they got the rings on, no armor, because like I said, the armor is going to have different levels of gems, so different discrepancies. It doesn't matter, I think. So we're just going to go straight in like this. So now let's go ahead and challenge this, re-challenge, and we're only going to be deploying our pikes, and we'll be able to compare pikes out. Let's go ahead and compare this to the next one we fight as well. Since I'm such a high level, we can take a little bit of hitting here. It should be a good report. Regardless of win or lose, guys, the report will show the stats just like normal. You can see some of the heals coming in on that march there, and we're still alive. We're doing some damage here and whatnot, but the real test will come at the end. And we're getting chunked now. We're getting real chunked now. That's no good. We'll do two marches, right? We'll do 2 attacks per march, so we can get a bit of an average going on. All right, failure as figured. Oh, that's okay. They're still here. It's the same march, which we have some time on. So I'm going to go straight ahead and attack it again to get a second report to compare it. We'll compare the 2 marches of the same march first, and then we'll compare them to the other march, the different march, using the same troops that we're up against, which would be pretty ideal. So this is actually a good way for anyone who's wondering how to actually test your marches. You don't have to win the battle. You just have to get the numbers in a report, okay? I think that's key. Yeah, well, we're taking some big hits here now. And there he goes. Done. All right, let's do that again, but with the next march. All right, so these guys are now done as well. They're ready to go. Keep in mind, guys, the previous march was my best pike march I've ever had, okay? Not that it was my best march ever, but it was my best pike march, and that's something that's important to keep in mind. We're about to send now my new best march for pikes, which is this. Let's go ahead and send that out. Exactly the same conditions. They're wearing their rings. They are no armor, so no gems, and they are maxed skills. And there is something to consider. My tech, which is pretty close. So my techs are actually a little less complete for the strategy folks, and there's 2 strategy damage dealers in this march, and that is Belisarius and Queen Elizabeth. And you can actually see already the HP is holding tight while this march is getting obliterated compared to the previous march, which is actually insane difference. This is a huge difference right now. We're going to see that in the report in a sec. So as I was saying, 2 strategy-based damage dealers in this, which is Belisarius and Queen Elizabeth, and then Ashoka has really good might, actually. And it's just something to consider. So it's a mixed deal of damage here. And also, Queen Elizabeth also lets you target the weakest defense of the enemy, whether that be strategy defense or might defense. So you can actually target whichever is the weakest one on purpose. Let's go ahead and do one more, and then we'll compare these. These will be that was an interesting thing I just saw there. Like, this march held out way longer, way stronger than the previous martial march, which is insane. Actually impressive. So here we go. There, yeah, you can see his health going back up if you're looking carefully. You see his health go back up when he does a lot of damage. Sometimes. Sometimes. He's getting a little hammered now, but he's getting some of these down quite nicely. His rage could go up faster. It's just not what I have in the rings at the moment. You can also equip the Ever Flame Ring if this is your only strategy-based damage dealing march, because that means the enemy will take even more strategy damage. But yeah, he's doing way, way better than the marshals. You can just see with your own eyes without even seeing the report. So that's 2 per 2. Let's go ahead and have a look at the reports now. All right. Blackbird. Why is this one Blackbird? Oh, because I targeted Blackbird. All right, so comparison here from Marshal number 1. We were against some Marshals ourselves. Stats, first of all, 54,000, 45,000. So I had 2 damage dealers there, and I think that was important to focus on damage dealing with those 2, because the third one was all endurance and healing. And he did a bit of normal attack, and he did a little bit of healing, actually not bad healing at all, if you ask me. We don't need to care about them there on their side, I don't really think. 22, 14, 10. We are going to look at it anyway again, but let's just see some skill activations here. I mean, the skills are totally different. These are all like turn-based and stuff, so it works totally differently. It's like one activation every certain number of seconds, okay? And one commander skill, only one commander skill activated on him. We actually saw Belisarius activating more than once for sure. 4, 4, 6 on his signature skill there, which is his main damage there. Is pretty good. Yeah, like 4s, 5s, 6s on some of those. All right, that's the first report for them. Let's just go back to the numbers here so we can compare. 54, 45, 3. All right, let's see. Let's see the next one. Compared to 54, 57, 45 to 40, and 3, about 3 point. Okay. Similar. A couple of K off. That's fine. All right. Not too bad. Details here. Similar activations, as you'd expect. I think the activations are almost always going to be the same, exactly the same for turn-based moves. Because they only trigger every certain seconds. It's always going to be the same. But they did a little bit less damage. It was very close to what they did before. What, 57, 40, 3.8. What was this again? 57, 40, 3.8, 54, 45. So it makes up, right? This 45 makes up what this lost out on, and this lost 200. So it's very, very close in general. Now, moment of truth, folks. Bam. 242,000. That's a big difference. Jesus Christ. And 27,000 to Octavian's what? 25? Was it 40? Sorry, what was it? forget now. And 43k on Ashka as well, by the way. Normal attacks looking pretty decent too. And might skill and strategy skill mix. No healing, guys. Total healing though. Actually, wait a minute. Total healing because of her. Oh, you know, I wonder if healing gems affect this. I do not know. Because it acts as healing in the mechanic, but her skill specifically says it negates all healing ability of the march. So I don't know. That's a question for Catherine. I'll ask her in bed tonight. Damn, that's a big difference though. That's huge. Oh, that's huge. Sorry, my camera. My God, that's a huge difference, guys. Details. That's a mad difference. And like the most important thing is, considering the damage that these guys are doing, all three of them are damage dealing, is all feeding this healing right here as well. Oh my God. 16 activations on those 2 skills and 2 commander skills. Big difference. This activated a few times as well. Pretty good too, I dare say. Queen Elizabeth, 47 activations on her signature, 43 on her special thing, her special learnable one. That's crazy, dudes. That's so insane. That's good activations, guys, across the board. Let's have a look at the other one. That's such a difference. Jesus. 214k. This is a lot less for some reason. I guess maybe because it all depends on the activation of his double strike, his double attack move. So that's okay. But still, 214k is 4 times more. Is more than 4 times better than the previous guy. Anyway, like, Jesus. That is a big difference. And we're still getting 40k on Ashka, which is quite amazing, actually. Her healing is the same. 24,000 healing. It's close. It's close to the same. What was her in this last one? 23,000.7. Yeah, very good. Very close healing on that. So it's very consistent. And this is all without gems, folks, too. Holy crap. I'm actually impressed. Beyond impressed. That's an incredible test already. Activations were good. 2 commander skills on the latest attack as well. 14. It did do a little bit of damage. This actually still got 7 activations, same as last time. So I'm wondering why this did less damage this time. I don't know. I don't know why this is 14 and 14. That's the only difference on him compared to what did he have last time? 16 and 16. Huh. I guess that's just the secondary strike chance activating there. That's all it is. It's only 2. It's only 2 though. It made a big difference in the number overall. Fair difference. But it's only 2 activations on both of those skills, which are both secondary strikes. She got 47, 43, and 4. And here she got 46 and 45. So very similar in activations and 4. Very, very similar in activations, which is good. That's good. He got 15, 3, and 4 on those, which is still pretty good. Oh, is this the right one? 14, 3, and 4. Okay, so hella good consistency there, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna go ahead and do this one more time with armor on. This march is obviously, I don't even need to revisit the martial pikes at all. This march is obviously so much more superior in so many, by a lot. That was a big difference in their numbers. All right, they're all nice and armored up. And just one note I think people might point out with the previous testing is the difference in rings. That's okay, it doesn't really matter because these rings that I have on now, they're not the rings I would have used on the previous march. And like I said, the previous march, which is a turn-based march, is like one of the only marches that you can even use the gold turn-based ring on. And since it's a gold ring, they do get an advantage over a purple on that alone. Wherever the hell it's gone. Wait, what? Oh, it's still on the hero. Oops. But either way, it's that, and these rings that I have, the double purples on these two, are purely damage based instead of defensive, alright? Because the other march I played more defensively, because that's kind of the role with pikes, and just hold out, get as many turns as you can, get many turn-based skills as you can off over the period of time, is what's going to win you. This is totally different. The whole game in this one is totally different. This ring was the same, alright? So the only difference is purple for purple, and then a gold for purple on the previous march. So now we're fully loaded. And let me showcase some of the gems. I'm Belisarius, which is our main source of damage, as you can tell. We're always going to stick in a bit of strategy, extra unit attack on there. His strategies are strats 1s, all through the board there. And secondary strikes, he's got secondary strike 1 and normal secondary strikes there. And he's got some health and strategy 1, another strategy 1 on there, which is pretty decent. Elizabeth is also packing some strategy heat, but she's also just got unit capacity and health. She's got some strategies regular red. She's got some actives regulars. And then she's got one strategy 1 on there, and the others are all regular reds. Okay. And then Ashoka. He is also a big damage dealer, so we put on unit attack on him as well. I'm not sure if that applies to the entire march or not. Either way, it's just good to have because he is a big might damage dealer either way. And the usuals, right? And he's got might 1s. Oh, he's got one might 1 there, one might 1 there, and one regular might red. And unfortunately, I didn't calculate correctly how many secondary strike gems I needed, so I actually only have normal attack on him, and then a gold secondary strike, which is pathetic. It's unacceptable. That will change soon, don't worry guys. And then we got another might, regular red, secondary strike there, and that's that. So not too many tier 1s, nothing above tier 1s on these, but it's looking pretty good. Time to go into battle one more time. We're going to go ahead and challenge this once again. And you know what? I mean, it might actually beat it this time, all alone with Belisarius. Let's go. Armor's on. Gems are on. It does make a big difference, folks. I do just got to say, the gems make a huge difference. Let's just have a quick look at the power here. He's at 16.92 power, which is actually quite a bit more than what my previous march was, even with all the armor and gems on. So, looking pretty tight here. And you can see his health and everything here, too. How he does, and he's chunking some of these guys, and his health is not budging at all. That's it. That's insane. So impressive. I'm in love with this march already. I might even replace Ramses with this as my second strongest march because it's strategy. And he's barely scratched, and he's almost taken them all out. It's almost finished. And he's barely taken us. This is a march. This is a march. This will do well to have some better gems on it, which I can take off of Ramses. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now let's experiment just for a second. Can King Arthur also beat this march by himself? 37 seconds all by its own sum. Can King Arthur do that? Now King Arthur is my third strongest march. And pikes are actually my last strongest, by the way, my 5th strongest, because Mulan March is still in here, and she still does well. Let me just see, can King Arthur handle this all by himself? Because King Arthur's now running quite a different build. He doesn't have a healer on him either. We got Lagartha in there as well as Trebuana. Yeah, of course he can handle this. He is pretty strong. he's still pretty strong. He doesn't survive as easily because of my new build now on King Arthur, but no heals or whatever. I'd actually put in healing skills instead. Yeah, he does it. And how long did it take? Oh, wait, failure. What failed? Wait, what? What do you mean? What the hell? Oh, whatever. It's just buggy. That should have been a win, I'm pretty sure. Losses are 1.7, 1.1 mil there, and 1.2. So I guess just disengaged on one of the fights there. But will we do a comparison? I don't know why that failed. He did 253k to 14 to 53. She does alright damage. If I really feel like it, I might bring in Constantine again in place of her. But I think she, actually, how many activations? Only 8 on Sword of Radiance. So this is not as good as I would hope or expect with the whole Lagartha situation going on. Huh. I was honestly expecting more. Either way, we'll go ahead and have a look. We'll have a look at the other one too. Probably a lot more, in fairness, in damage. No, similar. Actually, very similar. Very similar to a King Arthur March, guys. Alright, well, folks, that looks very impressive, especially in comparison to what I was running before, which was the absolutely feeble martial pikes in comparison to this. This is an insane pike mode. Guys, watch my stream coming up because we're going to be doing the KVK against Empire 30, maybe. And they want to test my pikes against their Cyrus pikes, someone with level 135s. So they're going to be fairly close to me. And it's going to be our best marches against best marches. So that's going to be a real test. Cyrus or this Belisarius Tactician March. Chef's kiss though. I love it. I loved it. This was a good test. And I hope you guys liked it too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around in another video. Have a good one. Bye.